Hello everyone, this is Brian again from Van and Solar Adventures, and this is video number 2 review of the Energy Kodiak lithium ion solar generator. And my first video was kind of an unboxing, and this is now, I've had it for about 2 weeks. For the first 2 weeks I've kind of kept it inside and I've charged it through my buried cables in-house. I've charged it because when this, right now I've got my refrigerator plugged in, so you can see it's at it's 11.38 volts, and it's using 123 watts to power the refrigerator. And I have it plugged into 300 watts of solar. Right now the sun is down, so it's only probably bringing in 3 or 4 watts. So during the day, it can, with 300 watts coming in and only using 123 watts, it can easily power it. But at night, I switch it over to house power. My debate here is, you know, this has a super powerful inverter. You know, it's basically 1100 watt solar generator, and it's got a very powerful generator inverter. In fact, so powerful you can put a 30 amp RV plug in there. And so it uses, even on standby, I'm going to go ahead and unplug the refrigerator. My wife won't be happy, but so even in standby, we're using around 12.6 watts. So if I leave that inverter on all night, it'll use basically 13 watts per hour. So times about 12 hours until the sun comes out tomorrow. As far as hitting my panels, that's using 150 to 200 watts, and so that'll drop that 4 bars just leaving it on. So my debate is if I keep this inside and I charge it from these devices, I can keep it powered up, and then I can turn it off. I don't want to run to the shed from my house and turn off the inverter every time the sun goes down, which is just silly. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this plugged in. Now tomorrow, if we have good sun, it should fully charge it back up. But again, I'll lose probably at least 20 or 30%, almost 200 watts. And so that'll be a whole hour or two of, probably 2 hours of sun tomorrow, just to use up the power that the inverter on standby uses. So on cloudy days, that's not a good idea to do that. But on sunny days, whoop-de-deal, because it's wasted sun energy anyways. I don't know if it's going to be sunny tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and plug the fridge back in before my wife freaks out. And you should see the power usage crop back up here. Here in a minute, the compressor will kick on for the fridge. You can hear the fan. I don't know if you can hear it, but the fan is a lot quieter. The unit, definitely Generation 2 unit, is a lot more. Sorry, this is the plug-in for my light that plugs in, which is awesome. In fact, I'll go ahead and plug it in. So we get extra light here. The unit has performed flawlessly. I only had it on the charger here. By the way, I got this Nutric cable to MC4. I got that cable from Energy, and thanks to them, I appreciate that. I got that hooked into 300 watts. I've got a 240 watt panel going into my Goal Zero, and a 100 watt panel going into my Yeti 200. So this can accept up to 600 watts, so I could do that. In fact, if this is my only system, I would do that, but I have some other systems. It's nice to have multiple systems, because if you have a cloudy day, I can pull power from this one, or I can pull power from that one, or I can pull power from that one. So it's nice to have a couple different systems. But it's performed very well. I will, to keep this clip from being too long, I'll pause it right here, and then I'll take a reading tomorrow tomorrow afternoon, probably around 1 or so, and see where we're at, leaving the inverter on all night. All right, it's day 2 on my Energy Kodiak video, and it's another sunny day, and it's had at least 2 or 3 hours of sun, full sun, and I got 300 watts of panels plugged into this. And you can see I left the inverter on all night. It's using, basically on standby power, it's using 13.7 watts. So whatever, 10 or 11 hours without sun, that's wasting almost 200 watts. But it's almost full again. We got 2 more bars left, so another 200 or 300 watts. So as long as I don't plug anything else into it today, it'll be fully charged. Now, had I turned off the inverter, it would be full already, because I probably wasted 2 bars of power by leaving the inverter on. So like I said, it doesn't really matter if it's sunny every day, because there's more sun that replaces that wasted power at night. And this will probably fully charge here, and I got 300 watts plugged into it. But if I get cloudy days, then it won't fully recharge every day, and then I won't be able to use it. So I don't know. I want to do a fair evaluation of the Generation 2 Energy Kodiak, and so I want to do a week or 2 of solar charging and see how it performs. And so I might string together another clip. But so far it's performing really well. You know, I did power my refrigerator. My Power Hog refrigerator uses about 150 watts when it's running. I powered that for all day yesterday during the sun with this. And then of course when the sun went down, I unplugged it. So that's what you can do with your extra power during the day. If you don't know what to do with it, plug in some power hungry device. But again, here's the Energy Kodiak. Just for reference, here's my Yeti 1250. It's only taken in 106 watts. I've got 240 watts plugged into it because it's almost full. And my Yeti 400, even though I only got a 100 watt panel plugged into that, it's a really efficient panel, and it's almost full already. So benefit of having 3 systems is I've got about 140 watts here that I can go ahead and plug my refrigerator in, and this will still charge, and then power my refrigerator for free. So I can, with 3, I have each of these powering each of these outlets here, and I have similar outlets in the house, and I can just rotate and try to make sure I don't bring either of these down below 50%. Try to make sure I don't bring those down you know, less than say 30 or 40%, just to maximize the life of the investment. All right, that's the rest of the clip for today. All right, this is the last little clip I'm going to put together for this particular video. This is day 3. We had a half sunny day, and then the afternoon was raining. I was gone at work, and it fully charged. You can see it's fully charged there. I did use the power last night. The inverter usage dropped to a steady 9.5 to 9.9. So even with a couple of hours of sun at 300 watts, it's fully charging each day, again, as long as there's sun. So that's kind of cool. So you can see it's fully charged. All the light bars are lit up, so it's fully charged, 12.61 volts. By the way, both my Yetis are fully charged as well, so they had a good charge today. So as long as it's sunny, it's okay to leave it out here with the inverter on. But of course, if it's a cloudy day, probably not. So anyways, good performance from the Generation 2 Energy Kodiak so far. I might do another video in a couple weeks if there's anything new to report.